and that's 0001 for the retired President Moi, and 0002 for retired President Mwai Kibaki. Now apparently there's some individuals who are using these same ID numbers, 1 and 2, to register as voters. The story is on page 4 of the Daily Nation, and it's very interesting because even the clerks who are registering them as voters should have actually noted that there's a problem here. Now, for President Moi's ID, the card number has been used to register one Joseph Marion Nchabani Mwika, who has a unique identity VVR system number. For retired President Mwai Kibaki, the card number has been used to register 8 different people as voters: Gitonga Wilson, Julius Gede, Mukogara, all these people. Now surely this is what Raila Odinga just said a day earlier, that there's something wrong with this voters register. People are using ID numbers to register more than one person, and he even gave some of the ID numbers because beyond the 1 and 2, there are others like 26, 27, 24. So many of them have been used. Now do we see the sense in what Odinga was saying?
I personally think, first of all, if your ID has been used in multiple registration, I don't think there is any way you would vote. That for me is the fact.
To begin.
You'll actually... to begin to vote, you can't, because of the way the system is. I don't know how verified this information is, the one that for 8, how can you register one number for 8 persons? But it is always good to take care that even as we register all these issues, because also the war of propaganda is on very high alert. In fact, there are many issues being said that are not verified. So I would say let us be very keen in registration, but if you have your ID registered in another person's name, you cannot vote. And let us start there, that you cannot vote. And this will mean, if this is true, then they will have a problem voting. Because
IEBC's response is that actually the voter register will actually be cleaned up, but that will be after the voter registration process. So if at all any of these problems are noted and your ID number has been used by someone else to register as a voter maybe once or twice, you're locked out and you do not have any other chance to come back and register.
Yes, you know this is a very serious matter. And the moment now you go Raila, Kalonzo, Moi, Kibaki, you know, those are very serious Kenyans. You know, if it is normal people on the streets, it's a different story. You know, there is no day the idea of the Honorable Mwai Kibaki, retired president, will ever be used for M-Pesa. Or even Daniel Toroitich Moi, who served this country for many years. Or even Raila. There's no day he's going to use ID to withdraw money from M-Pesa or Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. So there's a big problem.
They don't use M-Pesa.
If now Daniel Toroitich Moi, former president,
these individuals don't enjoy mobile money.
Wait a minute. Now, I'm not saying that, but I'm sure there are other people who handle it.
Who handle the money.
You know, it's very serious. If those 4 are not going to vote, and in fact 2 of them are presidential candidates, you can imagine if you yourself will not be voting for yourself. So there's a big problem, and you know there's a matter in court over the issue of cleaning the register. So unless IBC,
which was taken by court,
unless IBC now calls the stakeholders who are political parties, we agree on the matter of voter registration and cleaning it up. There is no way, and a lot of concerned people have raised it. A lot of IBC officials, the secretariat, have said, you know, we have a problem with this voter register. It's good Kenyans get to know. We have quite a problem because, first of all, the dead voters, and with this doctor strike, there are so many. And now that we have Jubilee has allowed manual voting, which is what we are likely to go, which is a sure way of stealing election, then I can assure you the next election is already rigged. So what we need to do is to get serious as a country, sit down, let Jubilee comes back to power, comes back through free and fair means. Let it not be through fraudulent means, because that is how to lose Kenya as a country.
Back to the register, because the concern would be that if I, as a voter, I go and register, then I discover that my ID number has been used by 1, 2 other individuals. That means I could be ineligible to vote, and there's nothing I can do between now and the end of this voter registration exercise, which ends the end of next week. The voter register audit will happen after that. Is there a window? Is there an opportunity? Do we think it is possible that we could go back, that these people who have problems with the voter registration could be allowed back into the register once all these things have been clarified? Because we do run the risk of actually denying quite a huge number of Kenyans an opportunity to vote come August.
Of course, I would imagine the whole idea of an audit is to ensure those who are supposed to vote, vote. Those who are not supposed to be in that register, they are taken out of that register. So therefore, I would imagine after we are done with this exercise on 14th of February 2017, then we shall now commence this idea of auditing the register. That audit process will entail cleaning up, and those ideally who want to be in that register, they are going to be given that opportunity. Be that as it may, let me comment and say, personally, I think it is true. I support his sentiments. If we were to win as Jubilee, we need to win through free and fair elections. I personally wouldn't support a situation where we are acquiring power through fraudulent means. However, the problem with these registers has nothing to do with the government. IBC is an independent entity. To the best of my knowledge, the chairman was a person who got into that position through a bipartisan process. I think there's no one so far who has an issue with him. He has not even been in that office for a very long time. And again, so therefore we should engage IBC and ask them, hey, what is happening? You never know. Maybe the real culprits may be CORD, who may be causing this problem with a view of setting up the commission into a failure. That can also be an explanation.
Okay. Let me quote the IEBC chairperson, Mr. Afula Chebukati. He's called for calm, and he says the register will be cleaned up to make it credible. He blamed the mess on the 2012 registration conducted and the commissioners who retired last month.
And I think I want to say something because Honorable Manzo has actually alluded to it. This idea of peddling the propaganda that Jubilee is actually working with IEBC to have a stolen election must really be, must be put out here, because it is not right. You know, you don't work for NIS, neither do I work for NIS. But we know what I think most importantly, if you say that we are supporting manual election, you are misleading Kenyans, because we always vote manual. Yes. That is not news, and I know he's a lawyer. He knows exactly that. So let us not mislead the country, and let us not create temperatures that will lead to violence, because I have had it, even when we had the special sitting. The CORD brigade keep threatening violence, and I think nobody has the monopoly of violence. We must not threaten Kenyans that if I don't become the MP for Gilgil, there will be violence. If I don't become the president, there will be violence. Let us remember we are in this country. These IEBC commissioners and the chairman were actually put through their own prompt from CORD. So now let them not turn the guns. And I think what I meant by that, if your ID has multiple registration, you will not vote. I was not even referring to the three. I was referring to, if you use my ID number yourself, you're a fraud. The people who would be locked out of voting is the people who are using other people's IDs. And moving forward, I think we need to be very careful on how we handle this matter, and we must put it on record that IEBC does not work for the government. And the issue of audit in the Mole, I'll tell you, CORD has actually taken that issue to court themselves. In fact, if you listen to Senator Mutula, he was actually appealing to CORD fraternity that we are already talking, we are already going through a consultative process to put IEBC commissioners. Why can't we sit and agree on this thing, withdraw the case so that can be verified? They refused. When you talk something in parliament, they go to court the very same day, even after you've spoken to it. I think let us be honest and not hypocritical in dealing with this matter, unless we don't want elections.
Way forward, you know, the best thing is a stakeholders meeting. And the stakeholders of an election are political parties. And then if we don't agree on a way of cleaning up the register, then the only other solution is to have new voter registration.
Again?
Yes.
Before, do you think it will be possible before August?
It is possible, because this is our country. Yeah, this is our country, and we don't want to mess our country. Everybody has a duty to take care of this country. And I believe we should not allow fraud. And I think also Jubilee should be ashamed if they want to come to power through a stolen election or fraudulent means.
That is not right.
So Jubilee should read this process of cleaning up the register, and we make sure, because it's a stakeholder.
But
Jubilee is a stakeholder.
But Jubilee does not audit the voter register.
It is a stakeholder of auditing of the voter register. It is part of the scheme.
So it's called.
And we want also to say, even if you see such level of Kenyans, the IDs have been used, then how many Kenyans you can't talk for themselves, whose IDs have been used? In fact, a lot of Kenyans are going to register now, and you find you are already registered. So you are told, sorry, we can't register you, you are already registered. That's a lost vote.
Yes.
But I also
it's only a week. It's only a week.
I have already admitted that 128,000. I will not be surprised if it is not 1.2 million.
You know, we cannot cast aspersions to an institution that is independent. Just because you have a few cases which have a problem, there is no process that is 100%. And I think we need to give a chance to IEBC, their new commissioner, the chairman has said so, and give a chance to do the audit. Let CORD withdraw the case in court. Let us
by the way, to me, all these issues are coming into fore because of the openness and the transparency of IBC. I'm sure 100% they're the one who are disclosing these things. They are raising the red flag. They want to tell Kenyans this is the problem and this is how we are going to solve that problem. So instead of us vilifying IBC, instead of us saying this election is already rigged, we should be celebrating and telling the chairman and the CEO that everything now seems to be being done in an open manner. So don't vilify my friend Chiloba.
Now that if matters are being done in an open manner, that's why we need a meeting with the same IBC. We have a way forward on cleaning the register. If there is no possibility of cleaning the register, let's register Kenyan voters afresh.
Wow. There's definitely a problem, and I'm sure this is just a sample of the issues. Retired Presidents Daniel Arap Moi and Mwai Kibaki, their ID numbers, which are unique by any standard, ID number 1, ID number 2, have been used to register at least 9 other people who are not the two